Hi students, in this video we are going to learn the important concepts of probability distributions of module 3. What you learn in this video: definition of random variable, concept of random variable, types of random variable and problems. Let me start with the definition of a random variable. A random variable is a function which can take on any value from the sample space and having the range of some set of real numbers is known as random variable or stochastic variable. And usually random variables are denoted by always a capital letters. Okay. Now I will take one example. So based on this example, try to understand the definition. Here I am consider the one example tossing a coin 2 times. The possible outcomes are HH, HT, TH and TT. Then I am going to define a one random variable X. It indicates the number of heads in outcome. Now observe this table now. The outcomes from the sample space I mentioned here, and X denotes the number of heads in the outcome. There are 2 heads, 1 head, and here also 1 head. Here there is no head, it is equal to 0. Similarly, define another random variable Y. It indicates the number of tails in the outcome. So observe the table now. Here there is no tail, 0, 1 and 1, and 2 tails are there, it is 2. Now we are going to discuss the types of random variable. There are two types of random variable. First one is discrete random variable. The definitions goes like this: a random variable which can take only finite number of values in a finite observation interval. Example, number of deaths or births of a particular hospital, tossing a coin and observing the outcome. Second one is continuous random variable. Definitions goes like this: a random variable that takes an infinite number of values. Example, measure heights of an individual, temperature of a city. Now, how it becomes infinite number of values means, take the one example, temperature of a city. We start measuring the temperature at some particular time interval. Take it as 9 a.m. What is the temperature at 9:1 a.m., 9:2 a.m., 9:3 a.m., like that up to some hours, whatever they defined, like that we need to go measure, keep on at each and every time interval. It look like a countably infinite number, that is. Okay. Whenever we have a two random variables, suppose x and y are there, how can you able to differentiate whether it is a discrete or whether it is a continuous means? By using simple technique, we can able to analyze. Whenever a problem leads to counting, it leads to discrete random variable, and whenever the problem leads to measuring, it will leads to continuous random variable. Okay, counting problem always goes to discrete, measuring problem always goes to continuous random variables. Now we'll discuss about the discrete probability distribution. So the definition goes like this: a discrete probability distribution leads each possible value of a random variable can assume together with its probability. Now the same definition mathematically I'm giving in the following format. Okay, the probability of each value of a discrete random variable is between 0 to 1. Okay, whatever the possible value of a random variable it is least, that should be between 0 to 1. That is, p of x should be greater than or equal to 1, 0. Okay, and the sum of all probabilities is 1. That is, summation of p of x is equal to 1. If these two conditions are satisfied, then I will declare it is a discrete probability distribution or simply probability distribution. Okay. Now I will consider the same example, tossing a coin 2 times, and the possible outcomes are given by like this, and I consider here x is the one head in the outcome. Okay, remember only one head in the outcome. So observe the table now. There are two heads are there, one head and 0. So my x is actually, I defined the one head in the outcome means the probability I need to find probability of one head in the outcome. Since there is two heads is there, directly I'll take it as 0. One head, here there are two possible cases are there, so 2 by 4 that leads to 1 by 2. Similarly for this case also, and the last one is there is no head, it is equal to 0. Now you forget about how this table came, you just concentrate on the values here. Okay, now first condition, whether this table I need to declare it is a probability distribution function or discrete probability distribution function, these two conditions should satisfy. Okay, the first condition is p of x greater than or equal to 0. Okay, observe the first one, greater than or equal to 0, condition satisfied because it is equal to 0. 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5, it is greater than 0. Similarly for these two terms, that means the first condition is satisfied. Now check for the second condition, 0 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 0, it is equal to 1. So the second condition is also satisfies. Then I will declare this table as a discrete probability distribution or simply probability distribution function. Okay, the set of values xi comma p of xi, for simplicity I'm taken as only x and p of x, is called a discrete probability distribution of a discrete random variable x. That is same thing, the previous table I'm taking that one, the table together, it is called as the discrete probability distribution table. Now the function is p of x is called probability density function, or simply we call it as pdf, or probability mass function, simply we call it as pmf. Now, second definition is that distribution function f of x is defined by summation I is equal to 1 to x into p of x is called the cumulative distribution function. Hope you understood the common definition of the cumulative. So, adding simultaneously. If you keep on adding simultaneously, the final output should be equal to 1. That is called a CDF. In detail, we'll discuss about the discussing the problems that is. Now, we already know the mean and variance of a general frequency distributions given by these two formulas. Now we are going to define the mean and variance for the discrete probability distribution. Before that, here I am going to choose in place of f of I as p of xi, that is summation of f of I is nothing but now summation of p of xi, that is equal to 1. This is from the second condition, that is summation of p of xi always equal to 1. Then the mean and variance of a discrete probability distribution will goes like this. Mu is equal to, instead of x bar we are going to use the symbol mu for mean, xi into p of xi. In place of f of I we have a p of xi, and summation of f of I is nothing but summation of p of xi, that is equal to 1. So for simplicity, just we are going to take it as x into p of xi. Similarly, the formulas are given for the variance and standard deviation. So standard deviation is nothing but the root of the variance, that is. Whenever they are asking the mean and standard deviation means you need to find variance also. Okay. Remember these three formulas is very much important for working out the problems. Consider one example, finding the value of k. The following distribution represents a finite probability distribution, and hence find its mean and standard deviation and some probabilities. And here the word observe here, finite probability distribution is same as a discrete probability distribution or simply probability distribution function, it is PDF. So write that one, it's an important condition, you always you need to specify. Given p of x is a PDF, therefore we must have p of x should be greater than or equal to 0 and summation of p of x is equal to 1. So before you start finding any other values, specify the definitions properly now. Okay, now I'm using the second conditions to find the value of k, that is summation of p of x is equal to 1 means add all the values of p of x and equal to 1 will get the value of k. Now by using the value of k, check whether the first condition is satisfying or not. If I substitute the k values here, 1 by 16 is 0 point something, will get it automatically, it is greater than or equal to 0. So the first condition also will satisfy. Now I am going to find the value of the mean, x into p of x. We have the values of x and p of x here. Substitute carefully. Minus 3 into k, minus 2 into 2k, minus 1 into 3k, and so on 3 into k. Simplify and add together, we'll get the value of mean. Now by using this mean value is very much important because the value of mean will be directly used in the finding the variance. If you done any mistake to finding the mean means automatically variance and standard deviations goes wrong. So carefully find the value of mean. Now first write the formula for variance and use the values of x and obtained value of mu and given values of p of x. Substitute all together and carefully simplify. Okay, add all those values and substitute the value of k, so we'll get the variance as 40 by 16. Using this value, find the standard deviation, that is root of 40 by 16. Now the next question they are asking to find us for probability of x less than or equal to 1. So give the important for inequalities carefully here. Less than or equal to 1 is there. That means 1 is included in our interval. So from the table, you just write all the values x less than 1, that is -3, -2, -1, 0 and 1. So substitute the respective values from the table, add together, it will give the final answer. Consider the second problem, p of x greater than 1. So here strictly greater than 1 is there, that means 1 is excluded in our interval. Though a greater than 1 means we have only two values, 2 and 3, p of 2, p of 3, that is 2k and 3k. Substitute it, simplify for the final answer. Next value they are asking for -1 strictly less than x less than or equal to 2. That means -1 is excluded, 2 is included. So 0, 1 and 2, substitute the respective values and calculate for final answer. And similarly, I given the one more PDF already I shared with you with the I think 4 to 7 problems I worked out over there. Work out all the problems carefully. All the problems are very much important as examination point of view. Let me know still if you have any doubts. Okay, thank you.